quick rapid fire with Dr. Rajesh K Pillania on what happiness really is. So, is money happiness?
No.
Is love happiness?
Yes.
Is work happiness?
Maybe.
So, what truly is happiness, Doc?
Happiness is the right balance between two things. We need to have purpose in life and we need to have pleasure in life. And purpose and pleasure is common to everyone. For example, human beings, 99% genetically we are same. There is a common definition, purpose and pleasure. But then we are 1% difference genetically. And that makes us so different. So what is purpose for me might not be for you and vice versa. We need to look at our own life and find out what gives me purpose, what gives me pleasure. And it need not to be big thing. It can be very small thing. So we look around our life and find out, okay, who are the people, which are the places, which are the things, which are the activities, what is the time, which gives us happiness in terms of either pleasure or purpose or both. And this way we can have our own definition of happiness.
So, today we have with us Dr. Rajesh K Pillania, who has been known as India's happiness officer. And this is the perfect occasion for that, as today is International Happiness Day, which has been celebrated every year on 20th March. So, sir, recently, the happiness report came, and we found out that Finland was the first on the happiness report. So, why do you think a country like Finland is doing so well on the happiness index?
Okay, so the way we make happiness report is there's something called a country ladder. It has 0 to 10 as choices. And we are asked, okay, on a scale from 0 to 10, where you rate your life from 0 to 10. 0 is worst possible life and 10 is best possible life. And different people rate it. So this World Happiness Report, they ask 1,000 people in each country, and then they sum it up, and then they rank countries. So in this year's ranking and last 6-7 years ranking, Finland comes top on that. And there are a number of reasons for that. One is, like in Finland, people are very close with nature. There's a social security there. The GDP is also good. The trust on government is also good. There's large level of corruption.
How do you think, how can we improve India on the happiness index?
Okay, so every research, every study has its own drawbacks.
Yes, sir.
So happiness as a research field is only 50 years old. Earlier it was only philosophers and poets who used to talk about happiness. So this study of happiness, the way we are doing it is not perfect. It's a work in progress. Okay. So if I look at India, I think India is a much happier country because of two reasons. In India, we have very good relations. And in India, we also have very good faith in the God. Right? And these two things are very important for happiness. The longest study in happiness is done at Harvard. And they found that people are happy and live long are those, people are healthy and happy and live long are those who have very good relationships. Relationships are the main source of happiness. And in India, relationships are still strong. So I would like to believe that India is much happier. And also the trust in God. How does it help? Because life doesn't go the way that we want it to go. And if something bad happens and if I believe in God, then I get some kind of peace, okay, God will take care of me. So these two things are still very strong in India. And I think India is a much happier country than it's being shown in the World Happiness.
So, sir, you talked about love and relationships. We as the Gen Z, I'm just 26. So, do you have any tips for us to include happiness in our relationships?
Okay, the current generation in 20s, I would rate them, they are much more intelligent. They know much more about the world. They are much more socially conscious about the environment. So your generation is much better than our generation in our ways. And when it comes to happiness, the main source of happiness is relationship. And this current generation, they can improve relationships by doing certain simple things. One is that all of us have limited time, energy, and attention. And relationships want more time, more energy, more attention. So can we have relationship as a priority in life? And look at our tea. Where are we investing our tea? I mean the time, the energy, and attention. So that is one part. Second, for any relationship, it's very important that we have some element of honesty in that. So if we can include more honesty in our relationships. Third one is relationships also need that we need to give others a benefit of doubt and forgive them when they make mistakes. because we all are humans. We would make mistakes. We learn from those mistakes and move on, right? So uh, these are certain ways in which we can make our relationship more stronger, and stronger relationship would make us more happier.
I'm definitely applying that to my life. So, sir, for you, what is happiness?
For me, happiness, as I said in the beginning, that a mix of pleasure and purpose. So for me, purpose is doing research, going and teaching people about happiness, taking care of my old parents, spending time with my wife. These are some of the purposes. And pleasure is I love traveling, I love sports, I love experimenting with life, spending time with my friends, partying. So a mix of both pleasure and purpose.
So, you talked about two aspects of happiness, pleasure and purpose.
Right.
Are there more aspects of happiness?
Okay. So if you look into happiness, you can look at it number of ways. But one of my main purpose or one focus is how I can make happiness simple. And when we look at life, generally, these are the two things in our life. Either we want to enjoy life or we want to have some purpose. There's a research on people who are on the deathbed, and they're asked what are they thinking or their regrets. And they talk about three things: how much they've enjoyed life, how are they in relationships, and how are they in, giving back to society. If you look at these three things, again, you will find that the first thing is talking about pleasure. Second and third thing are talking about both pleasure and purpose. So if you look at life and you try to put into two buckets, you will find that purpose and pleasure covers most of the life.
Yes, definitely. So, sir, I had one more question for you. What do you think about millennials and Gen Zs and the gap between the old age people? Because this year's theme is focusing on how to bridge the gap between the old generation, the young generation, and the middle generation, and find happiness together as a community.
Okay, I think one simplest way can be if the next generation can spend half an hour less every day on mobile phone. So these days, I've seen this people of the old generation or the middle generation or young generation. We spend a lot of time on mobile. So mobile phone is good, but it's taking time away from our relationships. So if you want to bring all the three together, we can make simple rules. For example, while we're having breakfast in the family, no one is using mobile. When we are talking to each other, our mobile phone is on other side, so that we can give full attention and energy and time to the next person. Similarly, we should also do some activities together as a family, all three generations together. Those activities, if they are physical, for example, maybe cleaning a house or going out on a picnic, these simple things can bring all these three together. So the summary is reduce or take time away from mobile phone and spend time together and do activities together where you are focused completely on the other people. So your attention, your energy is in that moment. And by doing so, we can bring all these three generations together and we can be more happier.
So, sir, you talked about how the younger generation is constantly on our mobile phones and how we're constantly using social media, which might be creating a disparity with us and the older generation. So, sir, do you have any tips on navigating social media on the parameters of happiness to find a kind of balance between the two? Because we will not stop using social media.
There's a word called digital detox. And it basically tells us that we need to take time off from the mobile phone. So I teach happiness in MDI. I work with MDI, Management Development Institute, Gurgaon, and there I teach a course on happiness strategy, which is a popular course there. And there I tell students that, look, multitasking is not good for brain. In fact, we cannot do multitask. What we generally do when we do multitasking is our brain switches between two tasks. So multitask is not possible. While we are doing so, we are putting too much pressure on our brain. So in fact, multitasking is dangerous for our brain. So when you're on mobile phone and also trying to attend a class, you are shifting between mobile phone and class, which is not good for the brain. So I asked them, okay, keep your mobile phone switched off. And it's a difficult exercise, but they do. So we need to make rules in our life. Okay, maybe you can spend 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours on mobile, but let's start taking 5 minutes off. Because if you ask anyone to change 100%, people won't change. If you ask them to change 4%, that's what research shows, people will change. So as a young generation, can you start taking off 4 minutes every day from your mobile phone? Then after 1 week, make it 10 minutes. Then make it 15 minutes. And can you take half an hour from your mobile phone or 1 hour? And can you do more physical activities? And can you also get more engaged in what you are doing by not focusing on mobile phone and the thing that you're doing at the same time? These small things can help the young generation to find a balance between use mobile phone, use social media, but also not compromise with other things in life. So social media, mobile, I understand it's important for the young generation, but there are much more important things in life. For example, your health, your relationships, your study, your work, right? So try to find a balance between that.
So you mentioned this very important point that every small step counts. At the same time, sir teaches happiness strategy. So when I talk about strategy, it means that happiness can be learned. But for the longest time, what I have been taught that happiness is internal and it comes from the inside. So how can we teach people to be happy?
This is a common question that people ask me when I travel around and try to teach happiness, that how can you teach happiness? But interestingly, in last 50 years, there's a lot of research in multiple disciplines, not only in psychology, but in brain science, economics, social sciences. Today we know what is happiness, why we need happiness, how to be happy. All these things are well known, well documented, and it's almost as easy as mathematics. There's a cause and effect. You do this, this will happen. So it's possible to teach happiness. And I generally focus on these three questions: that why happiness, what is happiness, and how to be happy. We've already discussed the second one, that what is happiness. And if you go back to the first question, why happiness? So all of us want less pain, more gain in life. Companies want less loss, more profit. Countries want more GDP, no recession. And as individual, when we think of life, we think about three things: our health, our relationships, and our work. And research of last 50 years in happiness shows when we are happy, we are more productive, more innovative, so our work is better. When we are happy, we do more, we take care more, so our relationships are better. When we are happy, we are also healthier, because these days 90% of problems starts from stress and brain. So that's why happiness. Now come to the third part, how to be happy. For that, there are a lot of techniques available. Invest time in relationships, be physically active, focus on where your time, attention, energy is going. There are also simple ways to release your different happiness hormones. You can do simple meditation. There's so many things, because each one is different. So you can play with different things, experiment with different things, and find out what makes me happy, what works for me. So all these three things, what is happiness, why of happiness, how of happiness, are well documented and anyone can learn it.
You also talked about the daily stressors of work and how it affects our life at the same time. So what can we do about this? Because even I face that on a personal level, and we are just 9 to 5, we're working, we go back, we still have some deadlines to meet, we keep on working. So how do you think in such a scenario we can actually be happy?
Okay, so let's say there's some steps for it. So step one is that you need to choose mentally that I want to be happy. No one can make someone happy who doesn't want to be happy.
Okay.
Right, so first thing is a mental choice that I want to be happy. Second, let me define happiness for me. What gives me purpose? What gives me pleasure? And these things need not to be big things. These things need to be small things which you can do on a daily basis. For example, enjoying a cup of coffee can give me pleasure. Talking to my mother can give me purpose. Like small things, right? And third is find out what are the surfaces which you generally look at. And generally the surfaces we look at is our mobile phone, screen, our laptop, our mirror. So document your happiness, your purpose and pleasure, and put it everywhere where you can see it. On your mobile screen, on your laptop screen, next to your mirror, next to your bed. so that constantly you can remind yourself that what would make you happy, right? And then last step is, generally people want to be happy, but they become more unhappy. With something like this, that we are in Noida, and in middle of May, if you look at sun without glasses, there are chances that will damage our eyes because of the too much of energy of the sun rays. But if you watch it through a prism, we can see beautiful rainbow. Same thing happens with happiness. When we go directly after happiness, we tend to be more unhappy. That's what research shows. So we have to go indirectly. And the way to go indirectly is find out what gives you pleasure, what gives you purpose, and do those things. Happiness will be byproduct. So if we can do these 4 things, we can bring happiness to our lives. It's possible.
What do you think we can do to improve our mental health?
Okay, for doing our mental health, there are a number of things we can do. First one is our choice to be happy. That I need to be happy, and I need to be happy because I want to reduce my pain and increase my gain. Right? It's a cause and effect thing. So and this keep reminding ourselves that happiness really matters. Right? So choose to be happy. Keep reminding that happiness matters. That's why I want to be happy. Second is find out what gives you purpose or pleasure. And in those things, you can also find out, okay, by doing which thing, which hormone would be released. Right? So you can also make a chart that, okay, these are the 4 happiness hormones. This is my purpose things. These are my pleasure things. Now let me try to balance my purpose things, my pleasure things, and which hormone they will release.
Wow.
Right? Third is let me monitor my time, energy, and attention. Where I'm putting my time, energy, and attention. And actually, that's what we say in research. Happiness is not what I say. Happiness is what I do. And what I mean is where I'm putting my time, my energy, and my attention. So if I monitor my time, energy, and attention for a month, make a chart on a daily basis where my time went, where my energy went, where my attention went. After 1 month, I would know what I'm doing with my life.
Wow.
It would be possible. It might be possible that you will find that you want to be happy, but you are putting your time, energy, and attention on those things which you know would make you unhappy. And then we need to do a course correction. So if you do these 3 simple things, there are many things that can be done, but I want to keep it simple. So if you do these 3 simple things, we can take care of our mental health.
So, sir, can you give me 3 tips which I can apply in my daily life to be a little content? Because I personally feel as the Gen Z, we have become so addicted to social media, and we're constantly comparing ourselves with other people, and there is this whole world on Instagram where we keep seeing people who are like happier than us. We feel this FOMO. So what do you think I should do about this, or any person in the similar situation?
I think it's a complicated problem. Let's try to find a simple solution. And I would go back to our discussion that first we need to find out what is my pleasure, what is my purpose, and with that list, including the hormone, comparing hormones.
Yes, definitely.
And let me try to do that. One is that. Second is, let me also go offline for some time every day. Let me start with 4 minutes, but can I take it to 1 hour and use that time to focus on my health and my relationships, right? And third, it's very important that we should be grateful for what we have. So research shows that if we spend around 1 minute, 2 minutes at night before go to bed and write, okay, what are the 3 good things happened with me today?
No.
You don't want to do it daily, do it a weekly basis, right? And similarly, when you get up in the morning, can you be happy about being still alive? So these 3 things, if you do, I think can help us, can help you, can help Gen Zs in living a much happier, satisfied life.
There is this quote which stuck with me. Happiness lies in the journey and not the destination. Do you think this is true?
Yes. I would like to say happiness is a journey, because life is a journey, right? So you cannot say that, okay, now I've become happy, now I cannot become more happier. Or I become happy and now it's done. Life doesn't work like this. Life falls between happiness and sadness, there's surprises. right? And we keep evolving with life.
Mhm.
So I would say it's a journey.
So thank you so much, Dr. Rajesh K Pillania, for joining us today. It was really a pleasure.
Thank you so much for this opportunity and giving me a chance to talk to more people. In my classroom, there are only 300 people. So it's a good opportunity to talk to so many.
Yeah.
Thank you.